Assalamu alaikum guys, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Today it is day 18 of the 20-day reading challenge. We have 2 more days to go and I'm happy to see you all guys. Today we are going to do a passage 3. The title is the people of Brazil, right? Okay, so before we get started, I want to just ask you a quick favor. Can you please subscribe to my channel? You are watching this video on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my channel because it will help me grow my channel and it will help me for my future projects. And I also ask you to like this video and comment below. Do you find this challenge useful or not? Okay, I want to know about your opinion, and you can also leave any feature requests for example, because we are building this website. You guys know that we are building this website specifically for IELTS takers, like IELTS, for your IELTS preparation, and we would be so happy to receive your feedback on this website too. Okay, guys, now let's get started. So Piraha, people of Brazil. The Piraha tribe live deep in Brazil's Amazon forest, and their language is hotly debated by linguists. Okay, so I see this. It's probably related to linguistics, right? Their language, and here Piraha tribe. That's it. Now I understand what this passage is going to be about, and I'm just gonna quickly look through the questions. What are we told about Daniel Evet in the first paragraph? First paragraph. Okay, that's what I need. I usually analyze first 2 questions of each question type. Okay, which of the following is best summary of the second paragraph? Second paragraph. Okay, that's it. I got it. And I will move on to this part. But it's a summary completion with a drag and drop feature. This is the best feature I love about our website because in most websites there is no this feature available. We have made this so that it's gonna reflect the real exam, right? We are trying to make this platform as close to real exam as possible, okay? And we have such features as well, note highlight feature, and we have this like save features so that it's a reminder, like it reminds you when to it reminds you that it's not complete yet or you are not certain about it, okay? And then we have is not in questions. Okay, let's see. Believes that a group's language is a product of their something, and their and thus language's identity infinitely varied. Varied is like different, right? Okay, I get it. Everett's explanation, and then this part. Everett was surprised by the way his research was greeted. Surprised. Research was greeted. Okay. Chomsky. Chomsky has been critical of Everett's research methodology. Methodology is like the technique they use, right? Okay, I'm just gonna get started now. Since 1977, the ethnologist Daniel Evet has spent a total of 7 years living with the Piraha and has committed his career to studying their puzzling speech. Puzzling is like confusing. It means confusing, right? Indeed, he was uncertain for so long about what he was actually hearing while living among the Piraha that he waited nearly 3 decades before publishing his findings. Wow, that's amazing. So we have to choose like 27 now. He has lived among the Piraha since 19. No, I think no, because 1977, and then like he lived there for total it maximum, right? 7 years. So, but here it says until now, but no, it's not the correct answer. It took him 7 years to learn the Piraha language. 7 years, seven. No, I don't think he learned it. He just studied it, and he was still not certain at the end. No one would publish his research for. No, it's not about no one. He himself didn't want to publish it for 3 decades, right? Studying the Piraha language is the focus of his work. I think so. This is the correct answer. So look, committed his career. Look, committed his career is it means the focus of his work. That's it. The correct answer is this one because others are not correct, and this one makes more sense, right? Studying is like committed, focus of his work, studying with their puzzling speech. That's it. I'm just gonna go on. I don't think we found any information about this because there's no explanation yet, and research was created. No, nothing about it yet. The debate over the Piraha language goes right to the core of the riddle. Okay, regarding how Homo sapiens managed to develop vocal communications. So I think debate. There is a debate. There is a disagreement about Piraha's language, right? And it's actually closely related to how people developed language in the past. Although bees dance, yeah, bees dance, birds sing, and whales even sing with syntax. Human language is unique, only if only for the reason that it enables humans to piece together never before constructed thoughts and be infinitely imaginative. Think of Shakespeare's plays or Einstein's theory or of relativity. Interesting. This part is quite complicated, I admit. Even if you might have got this wrong, and I am also thinking deeply about this. Why? Because this part. So the writer here is giving examples of some parts that may be surprising or that may be complex. For example, did you know that bees dance? Bees, arılar, right? Like bees dance, of course. Uh, it's a surprising fact, right? And birds sing. It may be a surprising fact. The whales, like this big, large fish in the ocean, they sing with syntax. Syntax, I think it's analysis or something. Syntax, right? Human language is unique. Even though they happen, human language is still unique, if only for the reason that it enables to piece together never before constructed thoughts and be infinitely imaginative. Um, so it helps people get together like all those thoughts, and it's very imaginative. And they say, think of Shakespeare's plays and or Einstein's theory of relativity. So the writer is referring to Shakespeare's plays and Einstein's theory of relativity. Let's see this. Best summary of the second paragraph. Humans are the only species to be linguistically creative. I think it's not about linguistically creative. It's just that it's just like the writer is comparing humans' possibilities, or it's like the writer says language is unique, but it's not only for bringing thoughts together. Because Shakespeare's plays is like writing in written form, or Einstein's theory of relativity, it's like math, related to math, right? So it's not only for speaking, it can be also for different things, right? Humans, bees, birds have share. No, it's not about sharing a characteristic, because the writer mentions different characteristics here. Human language is not fully understood by scientists. Not fully understood by scientists. I don't think so. I think we understand that, but there's also nothing about it. Humans are the only species. Oh gosh. Now, here is the tricky part. Human language is not fully understood by scientists. Okay, humans, linguistically, the only species to be linguistically creative. Is it like linguistically creative? Develop vocal communication. If only for the reason that it enables humans to piece together never before constructed thoughts and be imaginative. Linguistically creative, or is not fully understood by scientists. Is there anything about scientists like not fully understood? Unique regarding debate. So I think it's like debate here, right? There's a debate. So could it be like not fully understood by scientists? But is there the mention of scientists here? That's the interesting part. And here it says together never before constructed thoughts. So, and there's also one more thing. Bees dance, birds sing, and whales even using with syntax, but they don't speak. So language is something very unique. I think this is the correct answer. I will choose this one, because humans are the only species to be linguistically creative. And then it says here infinitively imaginative, right? I think this is the correct answer, because other options don't really click, like they don't really make sense. I feel so. I'm not sure. I mean, like, I'm just gonna put this one too. I may be wrong, but I feel like this is 99% correct. Should be correct. Hop, I'm just gonna go on now. 29. Why does the writer refer to subordinate clauses? Do you guys know what subordinate clauses? Subordinate clauses are not the main clauses. Like it's the helper or like supporting part of the sentence. For example, if I'm gonna show it now in the example, I guess. Okay, that's it. We're just gonna go on. Linguistics generally focuses on what features all human languages have in common. Linguistics, all human languages have in common, but the Piraha language departs from what some academic have long maintained are essential and inalienable features of all human languages. So the writer says Piraha's language is totally different from what we all speak, right? From all of our languages. Most of all, it may be unique for not employing subordinate clauses. They don't have subordinate clauses. Instead of saying, when I have finished eating, I will speak to you, they don't speak this, right? They say, I finish eating, I speak with you, right? You see this difference? So they don't usually use when, if, while. They don't use that. They just say, I do something and I do something. That's it. Equally perplexing. Perplexing is like, again, confusing, right? Or interesting part. The Piraha appear not to use numbers. They don't use numbers. Interesting. Work of Worf. So during the time he spent with them, Evet never heard words like all, every, more. There is one word, hoi, that comes close to natural the numeral one, but it can also mean small. And they were never observed to count without language. So they never count without language. They always use language. On their fingers, for example, they don't have like gestures. In order to determine important tasks in village life, like how many pieces of meat to grill. So they don't use fingers. They don't use gestures. They only use language. So let's look at this. To criticize, no, it's not about criticizing, guys. To compare two features of Piraha's language, no, it's not about one feature and second feature of Piraha language. To explain why the Piraha language is difficult to learn. Is it about difficult to learn? Exemplify unusual feature of, okay, I think this is the unusual feature. Why? Because perplexing, equally perplexing, right? Here. And then unique. And then. So, that's it, like have all in common, but it's not in common, it's not common one. So it's unusual one, right? I think this is the correct answer. Because other options do not really suit here. 30, what point does the writer make a Worf? World Piri people or World Pyrai people or something like that. We don't have information about these parts yet, I guess. All right, and we're just gonna go on. So Evet's findings among the Piraha have brought new life to a controversial theory. Okay, findings, new life to a controversial theory by Benjamin Worf, who suggested that people are only capable of constructing thoughts for which they possess actual words. So people are able to think and they have the words that they can use. For example, if I'm thinking, I say I'm thinking, right? Or if I say I want to crack it, if I think about crushing something, I can also express it using my language, right? So only people can do that. Like for example, animals can also think, but they don't have the language to speak that, right? I think, right? So that's what it means here. Or to put it another way, because they have no words for numbers. They cannot even begin to understand the concept of numbers or arithmetic. So as they don't have numbers, these people like Piraha, they don't have math too. They don't really understand math too, right? They don't really understand the concept of numbers. So does the writer make about the work of Worf? He thought that numbers were common to all. No, his theory might be supported by. No, it's not about being supported, I think, right? His research enabled him to find a new life among. No, he predicted that people like the Piraha would never be found. Oh, interesting. This part was very interesting. Controversial theory by the linguist who suggests that people are only capable of constructing thoughts for which the actual, or to put it another, because they have no words for numbers, they cannot even begin to understand the concept of numbers or arithmetic, but they can understand numbers were all human languages. Was it about all human languages? His theory might be supported by very interesting part. I have to mark it as well. It's actually not correct. This part, this is not correct. So we are between A and B. Interesting part of there. Okay, we don't have that part. So the Warlpiri language, spoken by a group of Australian aborigines, like that of the Piraha, features only the most rudimentary system of counting. Rudimentary, I think it's like simple. Rudimentary should be simple. Let's see that. Involving or limited basic principles. Yes, simple. Rudimentary is like simple. Of counting. However, the Warlpiri people had no difficulty counting rather than three, farther than three in a foreign language, in this case English. But when Everett attempted to teach the Piraha how to count in Portuguese, like other Brazilian, not a single person could count to 10. Interesting. I think it's a very interesting part. I think we understand what the 30 is now. So his theory might be supported by Everett's research. So Everett did the research, and Worf said if they don't have the words, they don't really understand the concept of it, for example, right? And then it says Piraha don't have the concept of counting, and they didn't know how to count. So I think that's the reason here. Like, it should be the correct answer, B. His theory might be supported by Everett. So the correct answers are here and here. Okay? All right, so 30 now. 30. We're just going to go on, I think, right? It should be a correct answer. I am 100% perfect, sure about this. At 31, the writer refers to Warlpiri people. That the Piraha should be show how tribal people learn in foreign language, not peoples. Compare counting in English and Portuguese. No. Illustrate the uniqueness. Most rudimentary. However, the Warlpiri people had no difficulty counting farther than 3 in a foreign language. How tribal people learn a foreign language. No, it's not about foreign language. It's just like they learn how to count. Should be taught. No, it's not about to be taught. It compare counting in English and Portuguese. Is it like comparing English and Portuguese? Bear to teach the count in Portuguese like other Brazilians. Not a single person. It's a very tricky question too. Why not this? Right? It seems to make sense. I'm just gonna do this, and I may see some information about this. What is Everett's point about Piraha's intellectual capacities? Okay. Everett is at pains. Pains is like really struggling to point out that Piraha are not unintelligent. So they are not crazy. They are not stupid. For their thinking is not any slower than any of the average university students. So their thinking is not slower than an average university student. And although they reside in a remote part of the forest, they live in a very far away part, but they don't live in complete generic isolation. So they don't live in isolation. They live with other people, but mix with people from the surrounding populations, and share similar intellectual capacities with their neighbors whose languages do contain numbers. So just because they don't know how to count doesn't mean that they are stupid. They can still count. I mean, they don't know how to count, but they are still intellectual. Let's see this part. Piraha students have not graduated. No, it's not about graduating from university. He does not want people to criticize their intelligence. I don't know about this part. It seems their isolation makes it difficult. No, they don't isolate themselves. They live with neighbors. He believes their language is more complex than their neighbors. No. So I think this is the correct answer, because he doesn't want people to criticize their intelligence. I think so. This seems to be the correct answer, because they share similar intellectual capacities, right? They are not more advanced, but their intellectual capacities are similar. That's it. Yeah, this is the correct answer. I would choose B here. So, all right, let's go on now. Eventually, after some 30 years of research, Yvette has come up with a surprising explanation for the peculiarities. Peculiarities like craziness, like weirdness, something that's unusual of the Piraha language. Language, he believes, is created by people's way of life, their belief system and values. Group of languages product their what, and thus languages are infinitely varied, limitless. And this way, variety in human language is almost limitless. So, okay, limitless is like infinitely. Varied is like variety is the correct answer. Like it's already here, right? It means we missed something about this part. If it believes that a group of language is a product or created by, look, language is created by people's way of life, their belief system and values. What is it? Present, past, time, future, culture. I think this is culture, because it's like way of life, system, belief system, values like what they think is good, what they think is bad, belief system, what they believe, what they don't believe. It's all culture, right? I think it's culture, part of culture. During the time he spent living among Piraha, not only place value on the something and have no something to describe completed events. Okay, so there's nothing completed events. All right, that's it. So the was surprised by the way his research was greeted. Do we have anything about surprising? He had surprising explanation, but was he surprised? Let's go on. What Yvette research has revealed is that the central tenet of the Piraha's culture is to live in the here and now. So they live in the here, like right now. They live at the moment, in the moment, right? The only thing of importance that is worth communicating to others is what is being experienced at the very moment, right now. They think about right now. Though this can often be described with great care and detail. So they describe now, like they use present simple, I think, right? In most cases. In consequence, the language has no means to conjugate verbs in order to describe yesterday or last week. So they don't have a past, right? That's it. I get it now. Look at this one. So only place value on the present and have no past. Is it like no, wait. Grammar. And they don't have grammar to describe like completed events. Grammar is like conjugated verbs here. You see? So they don't have grammar to describe completed events. Similarly, the types of names they use reflect the fact that they don't celebrate. They don't celebrate what? Okay, we're just gonna go on. Their very literal view of the world curtails abstract thought, and many features taken for granted among other people are absent among the Piraha, such as a creation myth, storytelling, and painting. So they don't. So like they are realistic. They are the most realistic people, I think. They don't really do creation myth like myth, right? Like unreal things, or they don't do storytelling and painting. Interesting. One manifestation of their beliefs is that by tradition, the names they give their children are not particularly imaginative. So they are not also imaginative. Often they are named after other members of the tribe with whom they share similar character traits. Standing out or being different is not encouraged by the Piraha, so they don't want to be different from others. And this is reflected in their perhaps countless choices of names. And colorless. So they don't really color their names. They don't make it like interesting and funny, right? They don't celebrate what? They don't celebrate future children, art, past, time. I think it's individuality. They don't celebrate their birthdays, I think. Is it similar? Like celebrate not celebrate birthdays, but like they don't celebrate birthdays too, I think, right? But they don't also make themselves stand out from others. They don't want to be different from others. So they don't like their individuality. They want to be similar to others. It's called individuality, like yourself, right? Sense of self. Okay, I think we are done here, and we are moving on to yes or not questions. Everett was surprised by the way his research was greeted. Everett anticipated that these findings would be controversial. controversial, and the reaction came as expected. Okay, so was he surprised? No, he was not surprised because it came as expected. So that's why we are choosing no. Surprised, expected, opposite. Chomsky. Okay, if recursion as a universal concept is disproved, Chomsky's ideas about language would be wrong. Okay, let's go on now. Until this point, many linguists had defended the theories of norm. Okay, defended is like take the side of support, according to which all human languages have a universal grammar. So, so he said that there is a language like universal grammar. What exactly makes up this universal grammar is the subject of debate. So it's a debate, but at its heart is the concept of recursion. So is there anything about whether Chomsky has been critical of Evet's research methodology? I think it's not given because there's nothing about being critical about of Everett's research methodology. At least until now, I haven't seen anything there, but we already see the word recursion. So let's see. But its heart is recursion, which is defined as replication of a structure within its single parts. Without it, humans would not be able to view separate thoughts as subordinate parts of a whole complex whole. And most pertinent to Everett's work, there would not be subordinate clauses, which are responsible for translating the concept of recursion into grammar. But if the Piraha do not form subordinate clauses, then recursion cannot explain the uniqueness of human language. Okay, and this would negate Chomsky's theories. That's right. If recursion is a universal concept, is disproved. Disproved is like, this is all about disproving. Negate is like debate or opposite, become the opposite. Negate is like, what? Negate. Negate. Legislation immediately took steps. Negate effects. Negate is like nullify. Nullify is like nullify. It's like make it disagree. It's like disagreeing is like negating, right? Or make it pointless, right? Ideas. It is yes, because it would be wrong. Negate, right? Recursion is as a universal concept is disproved. If it's disproved, then his ideas would be wrong. And last question we have left. Piraha will benefit from their newfound status among academics. Let's see. Newfound status is like their latest stats. The logical way forward now would be try to prove that the Piraha can think in a recursive fashion. Recursive is like, is it like continuous? Recursive should be like continuous, right? Repetition, yes, repetitive fashion. The only problem is nobody can confirm or deny Everett's observations since no other research can speak Piraha as well as he does. Despite this, several researchers, including two of Chomsky's colleagues, will soon travel to. My concern is that soon the Piraha will simply become one more scientific oddity, with every aspect of their lives being exploited and analyzed. So if you are exploiting something, you are taking advantage of it, and it is not usually a good word. Exploitation is not a good word. Exploitation is a bad word, right? So I think they don't benefit. They suffer from this because exploited and analyzed. If it's exploited and analyzed, then would you be happy? No, you wouldn't be happy. So in yes, no, not in questions, guys, usually it's more than facts. It's about thoughts, like opinion, and you have to be able to understand what the sentence means. You should understand its underlying opinion, right? Underlying reference. So I think that's it. We got all of them right now. In order to compare counting in English and Portuguese, how to learn a foreign language. It's not about learning language. The Piraha should be taught. No. Uniqueness of the Piraha. Interesting. Like I'm between like A and D. Let's find this part. Uniqueness. Walpuri language. Counting, however, a lot of people had no difficulty. Most rudimentary system of counting. Compare counting English and Portuguese. Portuguese. I think yes, that's it. Like how to count in Portuguese. That's it. Like English, and they say talk about like English here, in this case English, but like Portuguese. I think that's it. Like that's what I'm gonna choose. That's what I'm gonna stay with. And then here, humans are not the only species to be linguistically creative. This should be the correct answer because we don't have any other choices here. Species use no. It's not about syntax. It's not about human language is not fully understood by scientists. What is that part? No. So, all right, guys, I have finished this reading test. There may be some mistakes because you know that it's a very complex one. And one more thing, this passage has appeared in the real exam before, and let's just give it a try. If I made a mistake, then I may try to explain that to you. I may try to show you my point, right? But if it's all correct, then that's great. If you want to do this test, right, again, or if you want to analyze this test, or if you want to do any other tests, please visit our website. Our website is down below. You can find our website there. So its link will be attached under this video. And don't forget to leave your thoughts on this video explanation because we really appreciate your feedback, and this is how we grow. We are building this project together, okay? And also don't forget to subscribe to my Telegram channel. On Telegram, I will be sharing a lot of useful stuff and also the word list of this reading test. And yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you very much. Let's submit now. And okay, I made 2 mistakes and I don't know what that is. Grammar, interesting part. And what about this one? C. Okay. So one good thing about our website is that you can also find the review test part, right? So I'm just gonna do this one, right? Indeed, he was uncertain for which one was my incorrect. Which is the correct answer? Uniqueness of the Piraha. What is like uniqueness of the Piraha? Let's see, 31. However, the Walpuri people had no difficulty. The Walpuri are used to highlight how unusual the Piraha are, and when it comes to counting. No. Farther than 3 in a foreign language, in this case English, but when Everett attempted to teach the Piraha how to count in Portuguese like other Brazilians, not a single person could count to 10. So I think, yeah, uniqueness. Again, I think it's about uniqueness because they are different from other people. That already makes it unique. We have no other choice. Like passage 3 is very, very evil. Sometimes there are some illogical parts. But what about this one? And have no past to describe completed events. But completed events already means past, right? Have no grammar. The correct answer is grammar here, guys. I'm sure about this. Because look again, why is it incorrect? Because we have a whole team and people are adding those tests, and now I'm testing them one by one. So I'm gonna fix this today. Like while you are doing this test, it will already be fixed. And thank you very much for your watch, guys, for your attention. And I'm gonna see you on day 19 and 20. And if you haven't watched previous videos and haven't done the previous tests, right, from day 1 to day 17, I will highly encourage you to do that and improve your reading. That's it. So thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.